finished listening to Upside Down by N.R. Walker, performed by Glen Lloyd. So this is an asexual romance. I did enjoy the story. It's like the romance between Jordan and Hennessy is the sweetest. Like, they see each other on the bus, they're like, it is the swooniest of swoon, the way they connect, and like the people on the bus are so invested in their relationship and them getting to know each other and bonding. It is so good. I will say that I loved the asexuality representation that they do touch on it being a spectrum, but in this particular book they do focus more on asexuality being more anti-sex, where, as we know, as a spectrum, that's not everybody's full experience. Both Hennessy and Jordan do not want sex, they do not want porn, they do not want a partner that is interested in having any form of a sexual relationship. And I think because there are so many different elements of an ace relationship, I think it's great that we have so many to pull from, that we can see and that people can see themselves represented or whatnot. But I think, you know, knowing going in the type of representation that you're going to get. But like I say, they do have the conversation, because Jordan, there is a moment which I will say I shed a tear, because Jordan is very new to understanding that he's asexual, and he's finally come to terms with that. Yes, he is asexual, and he's found this amazing person in Hennessy, and he knows Hennessy cannot be with anybody that isn't asexual, and then they are together, and then his body has a natural reaction, and he totally has a moment and does what a lot of people would do in that situation, which is get in his own head and get in his own way, and rather than have a conversation, push that person away and think that, you know, there must be something wrong with me. And that whole thought process for him, thinking that there was something wrong with him, was just so heartbreaking. And then when you gonna do that now? Oh, you're both gonna do it now. And hence his realization of what is happening, and him deciding how they were gonna sort of get Jordan to understand, and what happens in that thing. letting it go now, was so sweet, and again made me shed a tear. So I love that for me, because I was down the street. Yeah, you're using the fountain, good girl. Sorry, moment. And so it was really, there were moments. I will say it's also some really funny moments, some pop culture moments, when they see each other after the sort of freaky out moment. He's like calling him, he said, I've been kidnapped. And I was like howling down the street. And you know, it's set in Australia, and there's a reference to Scott and Charlene's wedding, where a lot of people probably wouldn't get that reference. But I was raised in the 80s in the UK, man. I know who Scott and Charlene are, okay? I watched Scott and Scott and Charlene get married. And then there's a reference to this is what something along the lines of, this is more interesting than watching Home and Away Neighbours. And so little things like that were just really fun for me, and so I really love that sort of element to it. I think it was a really good listen, and you should check it out. I will say that if you are a reader that likes things on the spicier side, this is not a book for you. The book is about characters that identify as asexual. Like, come on. It is a great reading. You might learn something about other forms of sexuality, but and forms of intimacy, and there are some incredible intimate moments. But if you are just wanting spice, then pretty sure that was a pigeon that just the distraction. Look, even when I'm not the distraction, though, it's either the kittens or the freaking pigeons, man. But yes, as I was saying, it is a really great book, and you should check it out. I completely forgot to talk about the narration. So I did enjoy the narration for the most part. What I will say is that I personally would have liked if there was another voice on this project, because for me there wasn't enough distinction between Hennessy and Jordan to be like, oh yes, straight away this is who it is. Like, once I was really in their sort of head, I was like, oh yeah, but like that straight away, it took a minute. But otherwise it was enjoyable.